Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over a post titled, "My wife, a 34-year-old female, won't let me invite my family to our house." And guys, this story, or this post, which is a brief story, brief post, whatever you want to call it, which popped up on my phone, this is about a guy whose wife is pretty much running his life and telling him who he cannot have come stay in his house. Or not just stay, but also even visit in his house, right? And I'm doing this, guys, for two reasons. I'm doing it, one, for you guys that do relationships, and especially that either are married or want to get married one day, because I know that guys that follow me do. What can happen when you start enabling bad behavior? What can happen when you start embracing that nonsense idea of happy wife, happy life? What can happen and how she could totally take over and try to run your whole show and marriage and your house, which you paid partially for, if you allow that to happen. And the other reason I'm doing it is to show you guys that pretty much have gotten to the point where you're having nothing to do with the gals. This is only going to reinforce why you have nothing to do with the gals, or if you do date and do relationships, you certainly why you don't move in with them, okay? And as I get into this, guys, you're going to see once again, I'm going to interrupt as I go through the story to point out some very important things. But there's important lessons here for all guys, especially the ones that want to do relationships and eventually move in with their girl or get married. I warn you about all that, but many are going to do it anyway. So it starts off, "My wife has some social anxiety, and in general anxiety about a wide range of things." All right, then and there, that's the label. I've joked around, guys, how in today's world, it seems like everybody has a label for something, which they then use to excuse their bad behavior, and they expect everybody else to accommodate their bad behavior. Guys, people accommodate them, which only enables the bad behavior and more. And right here and then, we got anxiety, social anxiety, general anxiety, and this guy's playing into it, and look what he's getting. He says, "We recently bought a house, and she created a rule where she doesn't want kids in the house." He just said, "We recently bought a house," not her. So if we, as in he and her, bought a house, which I'm going to assume they both contributed to the down payment and the monthly mortgage payment, why is she laying down the law? Why is she making the rules of who can come visit in the house? I'd like to know that. What kind of guy would allow his wife to tell him who can come visit in the house and make rules that he has to follow? I don't think so. The kind of guy that does that is a weak guy, okay? Because no masculine man, no strong guy who has self-respect is going to let his wife tell him who can't come visit the house. And she's using the anxiety thing as an excuse. Her reasoning is that kids ruin things and they will ruin our house. Essentially, any friends cannot bring kids unless they are well behaved, whatever that means. And she always has an excuse when I want to invite my nieces over. Inviting any family over is a battle. So this guy wants to have family come over, but nope, can't do it because you got the kids running around and they're going to ruin things. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not exactly a big fan of little kids, okay? But still, if this is his family, and obviously it's a package deal because his family has kids and they can't exactly leave the kids at home to come see him unless they, it may complicate things. The kids are going to come over. You set some ground rules, end of story. Nope. He's just going along with her laying down the law. Guys, you never do that. Never. Because if you do, it's only going to get worse. You let her be the queen and tell you what to do. You put her on the pedestal and she makes all the rules and you obey it like some servant. It's only going to get worse. Only weak guys do that. Never do that. She will have, if she's already doing that, she's already lost respect for you. And you go along with these things in your house that you partially paid for the down payment and the mortgage. You do that, it's only going to get worse. She's even going to show even more disrespect. And hooking up, that's going to come to pretty much, if it hadn't stopped already, that's going to come to a screeching halt. Because again, remember, women won't love a guy if they don't respect them. So when when a guy lets his lady, his wife, boss him around, there you go. No respect. How many times have you seen couples out in public where the wife just looks at the husband like he's just complete moron, right? Because probably he's acting like a moron and she can boss him around. No respect for him. Anyhow, Oh, and by the way, I like to know what is in the house that she's so concerned about breaking. I seriously doubt they have like Ming Dynasty antiques around that the kids can knock over and break, or impressionist paintings on the walls here. I'm sure it's just a normal house with just things in there and not a big deal. But he says, my sisters and niece have moved out of state. They have been in the area for the last few days, but we haven't had a chance to see each other. I wanted to invite them, as well as my parents and my wife's family, over on Sunday. As expected, she is against it, using every excuse in the book. Dude, this guy, this is when, and I'm addressing this guy, not that he'll probably see this, but if he does, dude, you need to grow a pair. You need to lay down the law saying this is my house, I pay for half of it, and if I want to have family over, they're coming over. End of story. And if you don't like it, if you have your anxiety, then you can take off for the afternoon, go to a girls' day, go to a spa, go to the movies, go wherever you go, and I'll have the family over. And nothing's going to get broken, and cut the crap. This is half of my house too. End of story. That's what the guy should do. But he's not. Banishing his family. You got to be kidding me. He says, I don't know what to do. Smack. What kind of man says that? This bothers me, and I've told her this. I want to invite my family to my house, and I can't. What do you mean you can't? Are you going to be arrested and thrown in jail if you invite your family over to your house? How can I approach this situation, and what can I possibly say to my wife to change her mind? Smack. You know, this situation, when he says here, I don't know what to do, it reminds me in the movie The Godfather. For you Godfather fans, I'm sure you know what I'm going to say. It's the scene in the beginning of the movie when they have the big wedding. And the Godfather's in his office, and people are going to him, asking for help for different situations, asking for favors. And his nephew, Johnny Fontaine, he's an actor and a singer out in Hollywood. He's trying to get a part in a movie. And he's there whining to the Godfather, Marlon Brando. And Marlon Brando is just sitting back in his chair. He's listening to this guy whine how he can't get this movie role. And finally, the guy's like, oh, Godfather, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Whining like a little baby. And Marlon Brando, the Godfather, just jumps up, grabs the guy by his shirt, and he goes, you can act like a man. And he smacks him in the face and says, what's the matter with you? And he yells at him a little bit, but then calms down and the guy kind of comes out of his crybaby funk, and he helps him out and all that. But that's what I feel like doing here. I just want to grab this guy and just smack him and say, you know, you can act like a man. This is your house. End of story. You tell her this is how it is. But him enabling her behavior has gotten to this point. So this is why, guys, you don't do that. Okay? You don't enable this type of bad behavior. You don't let her call the shots and dictate how you're going to live your life. But so many guys do this. Now, what kind of guys do this? Weak guys. Guys that have no self-respect. Guys that don't see themselves as much value. Because a lot of guys are afraid that, oh, God forbid, I make her mad, she's going to leave me. And then I'll be alone, and no woman will want me. Guess what? Being alone and having your self-respect and dignity is far better than being not alone with some woman that treats you like crap. That's going to disrespect you and boss you around. Is that better? Seriously. I just don't get it sometimes. You know, it's unbelievable to me. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here. I know many of you guys understand this, or at least are understanding this more and more every day as you watch videos like mine and other channels and educate yourselves and help take that brainwashing fog off of you. But seriously, I never got that. So guys, don't be this guy. Don't be this guy in this situation here. What the guy needs to do is lay down the law with her and say flat out, look, you may have anxiety, but here's the deal. This is my family, and they're coming over. I love them. I'm not going to just say I'm going to meet them someplace else. This is my house, too. They're going to come over, and sure, I'll make sure the kids don't run around and break things and all that, but there's going to be no banning people from this house. This is my house, too. And again, if you're stressed, you have anxiety about a lot of people being here, hey, go off for the day. I'll take care of everything. Have a great day, babe. Or this guy simply can say, you know what? I should never marry this broad. I'm out of here. But that could be a lot more complicated depending on the situation. And I don't think this guy would ever have the balls to do that. But at the very least, this guy needs to lay it on the law. Because like I said earlier, women will never love a guy they don't respect. And they're never going to respect a guy that lets them boss them around. This whole happy wife, happy life thing is the biggest bunch of crap ever. Because giving in to her and all her demands, it's not going to end well. And I'm sure many of you guys watching this, at least at some point in your life, at least once, if you're honest, follow that narrative that they show all the time in movies and TV and all that, happy wife, happy life, and letting her call the shots and, the boss, and how well did that work out for you guys? Probably not well. Now, I'm going to read a few comments here to show you I'm not alone in thinking these things about this particular dude. One guy says, once again, the S-word bias of this sub is shining through. There's no way a man could tell a woman that she can't have her family over and everyone here agree. Right. Can you imagine the situation was reversed and he said, no, woman, you may not have your family here because I have anxiety and I want them breaking things. Not a chance in hell will that work. And what this guy's referring to about the sub in terms of the, there's a lot of comments here totally supporting her and trashing him. It's ridiculous. He says he would be called controlling and a hostile, narcissistic a-hole, and people would beg her to leave him. But anyway, I say let the parents know they'll be financially responsible for any broken items. Simple. That's on the basis the kids are running around breaking things. Again, what do they have in the house? Like I said, Ming Dynasty China, Ming Dynasty antiques and all that, and impressionist paintings on the wall. I highly doubt that. Another guy says, bro, this is your family. She doesn't really have a say in them coming over to your house. She may live there, but has no right to keep you from bringing your family over. If her social anxiety really prevents her that much from interacting with your family, you might want to get away from that. I can see this festering, and if it isn't dealt with very quickly, good luck, man. Right. It's your family, your house. They can come over. I guarantee her family comes over, right? I guarantee her girlfriends come to visit. And by the way, he didn't mention his friends, but I guarantee you, if this guy has friends, if she hasn't tried to distance him from friends, which a lot of women do, a lot of guys get married, and then all of a sudden that the wives start trying to get them to hang out with other married couples because she's worried if he hangs out with his single buddies and sees how happy they are and free they are, it might give him bad ideas. Many of you know what I'm talking about. Another guy says, you need to tell her, not ask her. Right. Why are you asking her? Is this your mommy asking her permission? No, you tell her. This is how things are going to go. This is your house too. I'm sorry, and don't mean to be rude, but you need to put your foot down and man up. Right. Family is very important. She can leave and go somewhere while they are there. I'm sorry, but it's just not right. Exactly. You got to put your foot down. Women will not respect guys, let alone love guys in their own version of love, if guys just let them boss them around and treat them like crap. Finally, this guy says, put your big boy pants on and invite your sister and nieces over. Those rules are ridiculous. Right. Rules. Get the hell out of here. And it's not, unless, and even then it wouldn't be excusable, but unless she completely 100% paid for the down payment of the house and she 100% pays the mortgage, that'd be one thing on some level. But even then, they're a married couple, so hey, if he wants to, they're still married, it's still his house, regardless, But even still, no. He lives there too, and I guarantee you, by the way, all the decorations in the house and the furniture are what she picked out. Mark my words. He maybe has a man cave in the basement, and even then, I guarantee you she'll determine what goes there. But everything else in the house, mark my words, she picked out. Okay, or if he thought he picked it out, it got her approval. Right? Bullshit. It is half his house. He can have anybody over. This guy needs to stand up to her, or it's only going to get worse. So guys, learn from this guy's mistake. Those of you that do relationships, those of you that either are living with a girl or are married right now, and maybe one of you guys are watching this right now, maybe some people have stumbled on this channel and are married, and this in varying degrees sounds like your marriage. It ain't pretty, is it? I'm sure you're not hooking up much, are you either? You need to stand up for yourself and act like a man. And again, guys, this is the type of crap that the feminist movement has brainwashed guys to behave over the years. I did a video earlier about a subscriber, 64 years old, who he's old school. And whenever he never got married, and a very good reason for that, but whenever his girlfriend started being disrespectful and things along these lines, he laid down the law. And they got difficult, told him to leave. I'm sure many of you guys have seen this video already. I did earlier today. So guys, you can't do that. You lay down the law. It's your house too. End of story. And for you guys that simply are done, never going to move in with a woman, not even date, well, this only reinforces why you don't do it. So anyhow, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. You've been in a situation like this where she tried to boss you around, say who can come over, who can't? Let me hear about it. Let me hear how you handled it the right way. So, and let me know in the comment section about that. What happened when you didn't handle it the right way? Did things get better or worse? I'm willing to bet you they got worse. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.